Namaste. Shubh day to everyone. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. On behalf of Shubh Group Welfare Society, a very happy Teachers' Day to all the Gurus. Today, I am so honored to have Dr. Tanushree Gulati with us to talk on a very burning problem faced by children during COVID times. Dr. Tanushree has been listed in 51 influential women of Haryana. Also, she is an awardee in HR Excellence Award 2021. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your presence here.
Thank you so much for this invite, Sidharthi. And it's my pleasure to, be invited on a forum from shOObh Group.
Thank you so much, ma'am. COVID-19 has come as a killer blow by shaking not only the economic health of the nation, but also the human health of the nation. I have a question. These days, children are at home arrest. They cannot go out to play or meet their friends, relatives, and they are so much under pressure. What should you suggest them to come out of this pressure?
Yes, if you talk of children, actually, see, it's the growing phase. 1 year really matters a lot. For adults, possibly we are busy in so many peripheria, but for growing kids, 1 year, 1.5 years, and it seems that till the vaccination is done, it could even spill off to the next year too. So 2 years of growing phase, and that too, they have grown very sedentary these days with online studies. They're confined within the walls and premises of their homes. Before that, they would dress up in the morning and go for school. So the days would be filled with hustle bustle, being in the school premises, on the playgrounds, running, everything. But now the parents also are busy in either in their home domestic chores or in their routine professional world, whatever they have to work. Yes, so kids don't feel secured outside, even if corona's wave is a bit low on the lower side. But still, since they don't get parental guidance outside, I've seen that many kids, they can only manage to go for a bit of cycling, a bit into the park, but then not too much of interaction with their peers, which is very much required, because when they used to go to the physical school, they used to be with their same age group students, So now they do meet and virtually, they do talk over the phone also. Still, the warmth of meeting and playing and running and having fun, they can't do it freely. Now, you were saying that they are into a stress mode right now. It's very true, because this can be relaxed to some extent, that whenever the weekends are there, the elderlies of the family can plan some road trip, okay, which is pretty safe, keeping the safety norms in mind, the COVID norms. And physical exercises become very important for the growth of the kids. It's not just because that the kid will feel tired and would go to bed in the right time or would have the right kind of diet. It's also very much required for the development of brain. Yes, it is said that if you just keep on sitting at one corner, you miss out on socializing on people, on the communication, interpersonal skills. So they need to be physically active. When they're physically active, the kids, they will also be very, very happy. So we need to nurture happy kids. Just not rearing them up will do.
Indeed, I totally agree. Also, as we know that early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. But during this lockdown, the sleeping schedule has changed for many children and even adults too. So, what can they do to arrange their work and get back to their sleeping schedule? Moreover, since children can't go out to school, that is the reason why they are taking all these online classes. But these days, we have seen that nowadays even adults and children are using a lot of digital appliances for all the classes, work, meetings, and everything. Now this has put a major impact on their eyesight, their health, and of all these children. So what should we do? What is the solution?
Yeah, you've come up with a very relevant question. these days, like this is what is the major concern and a big threat too. You've spoken of screens, you have talked of sleep, being sleep deprived, the routine, entire routine. So let me take it up one by one, Sidharthi.
No.
Okay, see, yeah, I feel that sleep is important both equally for kids and for adults as well in the family, the elderlies as well, right? But these days you would see that before bedtime, there's a lot of binge watching into Netflix or social media. The adults are there into social, handles. So the kids also, somewhere or the other, they're also listening to their playlist or they're watching some YouTube, yeah, or even chatting to their friends, yes, which is very common. Now, the blue light that is emitted from the screens, it gives a feel that it is daytime. It's not the time to sleep. It tells your brains, it tells your nervous system that this is not the nighttime. It's not bedtime for you. Okay, so these days we coin it, like I'm into research also, and we are doing a bit of psychological articles also because of pandemic. And there's a very typical term being coined for this blue light emission, which also rushes your dopamine. Where there's a dopamine gush in your nervous system. Yeah, so we call it the light mare. Okay, it is a streaming photons, absolute streaming photons, which makes you sleep deprived. Immediately when you take off from the screens, it becomes very difficult. The mind is like a monkey mind, and it becomes very difficult for you to get to sleep immediately. So it's advisable that, as you said, that early to bed, early to rise, right? So if they're getting late to sleep, automatically they are not being able, the kids are not being able to rise early in the morning too. And since they have this online schooling these days, they have a relaxation time. Earlier, they had to wake up either 5:30 or 6:30 at the max to catch their bus or, move to their school. Now it's more that they just open the screen, even at times on the bed too,
That's
with the video off. Exactly, right? And so I would say rather over here that the circadian cycle of the body, there's a rhythm of our body, which tells you that this is the time to get awake, this is the time to sleep, this is the time to eat, this is the time to be active. Okay, so the entire body cycle has gone amiss. And for kids, it's very much required that there is parental guidance into it, and parents need to lead by example. That's the only way out, because if you keep on saying the kid that go to sleep, you put off the lights too, and they can hear the multimedia sounds, or they can see, that lots of blinking lights coming from screens from the other bedroom, or some sounds coming. So it's a very big temptation for them. They feel, I'm not feeling sleepy. Then they also start with some device or the other to watch something. And this is about sleep. And it's pretty alarming that you won't believe that these days productivity is going down because of sleep deprivation, because people are sleep deprived. It's about kids also. It's just not about adults. If you think that you are not being able to recall a name, if you feel that you are not being able to cope up with your day's whatever schedule you have put in, then blame it to sleeplessness. That as simple as that. Because if one is well, you have to sleep for at least 90 minutes each of 5 REMs. That's a healthy sleep. Okay. So with that, there would be a development in the brain too, because kids till the age of 5, their brain developed to as much as 90%. Okay, and it keeps on growing. The hippocampus of the brain, it really grows a lot. It develops. So brain keeps shrinking. It doesn't grow if there is sleep deprivation. So sleep you took up, that is extremely an important topic. And also it's very astonishing, Sidharthi, that South Korea, Japan, these countries which are very low in sleep, like the average is pretty low to 5.5 hours on an average, for kids also very low. These are the places where the suicide rates of kids are also the highest.
That is
And also
amazing.
Japan has, yes. So the depression, you can relate all these things because throughout the day, if the sleep is not proper, then throughout the day, the kid also feels very lethargic and, like very lazy throughout the day, and keeps on binging some wrong junk food. Okay. So second thing, I think apart from sleep, which you also mentioned, was the screen addiction. As I was just talking to you about the streaming photons of the blue light that emits from the screen, that sends a dopamine rush, as it does with the chemical substances like alcohol, okay, or certain drugs. It happens. It's the same, chemical reaction that happens into our brain. And because of that, addiction becomes very, you were also mentioning over here that because of online schooling, there's a lot of problem with the eyes. Yes. Yeah. So very true. There's a data I was reading somewhere. I guess it could be Harvard Business Review, because I love to read all of their articles. It was a recent data which was saying in 2021, it has been found out that from 2011, that is 10 years, right? In 10 years time, till the age of 8, they have the surveys have found that mobile media, only mobile media usage has increased by 10 folds, by 10 times.
That
Two
is
times
not
make it.
that is not amazing. Like we
Yes, yes,
have been doing so much of all this from past so many years, and specifically in lockdown it has increased to
true.
higher level.
Absolutely. It has increased just so much because people are confined within the same premises. Boredom is to the new height. So that's why I was saying that it's very important to go out for, into the open air for some sort of physical exercise. Like if the elderly of the house or if there's parental guidance, or the parent starts playing a bit of badminton with the kid, possibly he or she will catch it up. And then if wants to take on to the tracks and go for a jog or something, or a bit of cycling on the tracks, whatever. So these things are very important. If one also doesn't like, a simple nature work will do. Like generally my younger one, she is now of 9 years. Many a time when she doesn't find anyone elderly to accompany her downstairs to to take her to the park, or she is not allowed to go alone. So outside, so she completely takes her nature work in and sees the butterflies near the flowers and enjoys the new blooms or the showers or something or the other. So takes some photographs and comes back saying that mama, you missed all these butterflies. So that spark needs to be there from the morning. With the first rays of the sun, you have to get in contact with, you are confined because of the pandemic not to be into your school premises, though from standard 6 now it has opened up. And once a week, like our Ministry of HRD has allowed the students, and gradually possibly, but then you don't know how the mutation happens, because in other places, even the third wave is also there. So that's very unpredictable till the time the vaccinations are done in a huge scale. But in the meantime, like they can always go out. They can have the first rays of the sun before they sit for the online classes, because what happens when you're looking into the screen, you need to look at a distance too. If you look at a distance, for kids especially, because their entire body parts are developing, so even their eyes and everything is developing. Okay, a kid would never have a vision of 6 by 6. That's very normal. They won't have it as we elders do have. So at that time, if they are not looking at a distance, it becomes different. That's why all ophthalmologists, they have told the teachers to instruct their students, and even every parent over here, the listeners must know this and insist on this to their kids before it turns into a habit with them, that you have to practice the 20-20 rule. 20-20 is that after 20 minutes of watching of the screen, you just have to watch for 20 seconds. 20 seconds is just a flick of time. Okay, at a distance of 20 feet, which is not difficult at all, right? So looking outside for 20 feet or inside the house itself for 20 feet isn't a difficult task. So this ways we can take care of our eyes. That's very important.
I believe that it is all about a habit. I personally
Yes,
believe that it is all about learning to change our own behavior and embracing it. Like it's just a matter of time.
very true.
So moving forward, these days the laziness is also one of the major concerns. Lack of exercise, eating junk food, overeating, eating at 2 at night, getting unfit and obese. Now what should we do regarding that? And it is not only children's concern, it is even for the adults.
Very true. you see, it's like a wheel, like whatever the adults are doing, the kids are picking up on it, right? So yeah, the adults of the family have to set their things right, because there could be some important business meetings, there could be spill off with their works. It has been there in the when people have been going out also, not during offline mode also, but they are just not the routine. That's not a daily affair. These days the problem is more about a huge addiction to screens. As we were just discussing that before going to bed, there's a lot of binge watching happening. They feel only for 20 minutes, only for 10 minutes, I need to just check the notifications and all. Okay. Just need to check before going to bed what's the, the news that's cropping up of something. Okay, right. So here, I feel you were talking that people are getting lazy day by day. True. Sidharthi, I take it this way. In fact, I put it in all my talks in this way that if you see it this way, see, your thinking has been outsourced to the artificial intelligence. Okay, you think of something and then the device or your system picks it up and keeps on popping up something or the other, so that you keep remembering, okay, I was there to purchase, this thing was there in my kit to purchase, right? Or I was looking for this program in upgrade or something. Okay, so I have to look into this program. The AI is keeping on ticking you on what you have thought before, or what your whatever was put into your search engine. Apart from that, you would also see that just not outsourcing your thinking, the adults also have outsourced our geographical spatial knowledge to Google Maps, right? We don't try to even find out where a place is. We just depend on the Google Maps and it directs us and takes us to the place, right?
We are habitual to this now.
Exactly. And our memory is outsourced to the clouds. You don't need to remember anything. Just on a click of search.
Same with the phone numbers. We can't remember any phone number once we...
True, very true. I don't even know my husband's number, believe me. Like, if you ask me, so much dependent on mobile. That's really funny. This was not the case even some 5 years back too, right? We used to at least know the mobile numbers of our near and dear ones. Okay, so we have outsourced everything to this, like to mobiles and to this technology, right? So automatically it's a la-la land. It's a la-la land. It's a land of lotus eaters now. You just lay back and you let everything to be done. Like if you think even of exercising, even the kids I see these days, the teenagers and all, if they feel like exercising, first they will find out the best, the time tracker and the best schedule. Okay. So there's much we actually need to disassociate from technology and take a step back. Okay, and we need to passionately get involved with the natural affairs of things. Like if you think of a physical workout, it could be aerobics, it could be music, it could be hard beats to which you could even take up any form of physical cardio, whatever you want to do. So it's very important for us to keep ourselves active. Even if the kids don't have time for workout, they naturally have the habit of moving here and there all the day. They just can't sit at one place. So even if you see at your home, the kids are moving all the time here and there and happily, skipping here and there, enough. That's enough. And these kids would be happier kids. These kids would be the ones who would take lesser of junk foods. Okay, because junk food, you would see that people who are so much glued into the screens, they get so bored, like they feel it's very exciting. But what's exciting? It's just like an addiction, finally. There is no learning out of it. There is no contribution. There's no creativity involved into it. So automatically their mind or their taste palettes, it goes into a thing that creates a huge sensation. And it can only be satisfied by the junk food, like the simple dal, roti, and curry chawal is not going to. There's a very interesting study into it. Sidharthi, a very small thing I would love to share. We all know from childhood, and we have studied in science about the SAR test, the sweet, the bitter, and the salty, right? There are 4 zones of taste buds on a tongue. And for last 3-4 years or 5 years at the max, there is a new taste which has evolved, and its name is umami. It says that it's the taste which you get in pizza, pasta. It is the taste which you get in mushrooms. Yes, and in cheese, some fermented cheese and fermented stuff. Okay. So if we understand that, then in the family, instead of having junk food, we can have some healthy cheese, something prepared from healthy cheese. We can add a lot of mushroom to it to satiate that taste and give that high, and have a bit of saucy stuff along with cheese, can be served from the traditional dal roti. Okay. So junk food can be avoided that way also in the family for the kids. They will be really happy. I've tried it for myself. It's an experiment, and I've tried it for myself. And junk food, which earlier it used to be 2-3 times a week, has now gone down to 15 days, 1 day. 1 day in 15 days we do order from outside or have pizzas or something. Yeah.
I will also try this. I will also try to follow this.
All these ingredients are very easily available now, like even on online too, like be it any kind of mushroom we would love to, and every sauces do contain a lot of sodium. It's not advisable to a lot of them, but even if you take it from outside, when the kids have junk food from outside, even they do add it. So it's better that once or twice we prepare it at home.
That's true. That's true. I totally get it.
The kids, actually, when we are talking about lazy kids, we would love to add over here that I was talking about elders playing the lead, playing the lead or being role models of the house for the kids as they would take them out for badminton. They can also indulge them into a lot of activities like writing poetry or reading some books, trying to write down or make some sculptures. You never know kids better as to till what is the area of interest which they didn't find time because of rushing to the school, coming back, going to tuitions, going to hobby classes. Now hobby classes also online, so that's why the commutation time has actually gone reduced, enough of time in disposal for the kids. So there's a lot of indoor activities also which can be taken up in a very creative manner, and there are lots of very good competitions like the national all-rounder championship. It's held for 3 months each, and the kids have their own tutorials, because anyways you can't stop the kids from going to the screen for a long time. They will have a stipulated time on the screen. So if they learn those tutorials, they come out with beautiful origamis, they come out with beautiful sculptures, and it's a creative platform. So these sort of competitions are also too good to put the kids in and make them creatively grow up.
That is lovely. I personally feel that this lockdown has been a golden time period for enhancing our knowledge and skills as well. At every point. Now, what would you suggest to parents to give their children maximum knowledge and take advantage of the family time? Because even if you ask me personally, then I am 21 years old. So it's been 20 years. I have never sat down with my family this long. I was always busy with my school stuff or college stuff or any tuitions or classes on everything. I mean, I never even imagined having this time period, like this golden time period. Obviously there are pros and cons. We During the second wave everyone faced a lot, but I believe that it was a golden time period, and vice versa. Even children can take advantages of this beautiful family time. They can enjoy, they can sit down, they can talk, and even with their dada dadis, even with their grandparents, who actually feel that yes, they have someone to talk to. Because we are mostly, when lockdown was not there, we are mostly busy with in our own work, tuitions and everything, school. We get tired and then we sleep. So I believe that this is a beautiful family time. So what would you suggest, that how there are some people who are still not able to take advantage of this beautiful family time? They are still locked up in their rooms and not talking to their parents, and vice versa. So what would you suggest?
Beautiful. So like so relevant whatever we are facing these days, and it's so lovely to see how creatively you have brought about these programs, and you're hosting the program, so you're using your time so creatively. And whatever way, even in our lifetime, in our generation too, we have never seen so much of relaxed time at all. If you see the other side, true, the pandemic has taught us a lot. The pandemic has given us very tough times, and even is continuing to in many sense. But then this is really a great time to hone your skills. And there's a bit of parental guidance. The kids won't take their drive on their own to do it. Okay, the kids would better find it easier to be glued on the screen, or keep on lazily sleep on wrong times and then get up and keep awake at night, or eat wrong things. So it needs a bit of parental assistance these days to channelize their creative edge into something really good. Like if you know that your kid can really sing well, put into very good singing classes, maybe music. One can start to be on the drums, on the guitar, on the synthesizer, right? Or even vocals also. And if someone loves to do a lot of playing chess or indoor games, then that's another thing. But yes, very small things, which is time taking. Okay, very time taking. If my kid is very interested in writing, doing a bit of sculpture work, then it's very important that the sculpture takes a lot of time for anyone to learn, and many a time tutorials are also available for willing. So if you sit down and spend some time in the weekend, possibly the kid will continue to do it over the weekdays also, because he or she has got a knack to do it. And these things are actually so rewarding. When it finishes, it's a beautiful piece of art. Okay, and even if it doesn't come out to be beautiful, the process, because many of us, we don't need to be that, we are not sure whether we are that creative, we are that good artist or not. It may look devastatingly different from what the tutorial outcome has been, but then the process of making it is worth it. They would love putting, yeah. So there are very small things, like in the house also, you don't need much of going out. Very small miniature garden can be created. 3-4, you can start with 3-4 plants and decorating them, bringing them inside where there's a bit of sunshine, and placing them on the windowsills or on your study. It gives such a personalized, that I'm growing it. It was so small, it was only 2 inches, and now it's 10 inches of, tall plant. So my baby is growing. So small things. Someone could even have, be it boy or girl, because I absolutely don't believe in any gender biasness. So be it boy or girl, a kid could even be interested in baking biscuits, some cookies, okay, or even loaves of bread, cakes. So so many things. And this is a beautiful time to actually connect with family members. But you just observed it very right, that the reverse is happening. Many of the kids and even adults of the family are getting even more confined to more corners of the house, more into the corners of the house, again because of the same screen problem, I guess. So one is the nature of the person, because a nature of a person, naturally many a time it happens that is a very silent person and loves to be left alone. Okay, apart from it, but if the person is creatively growing, or if that kid is happy, then there's no concern at all. Okay, if there's no obesity, or the eating sleeping pattern is fine, okay, communication is good, then no problem. That's natural. But very communicative kids, very active kids, when they stop moving around, where they're putting to the corners only, and hooking themselves to the screen all the time, that's a matter of concern. And grandmother tales, grandfather tales,
Yes.
like I've grown up with them. Sidharthi, when I was a student, and when I started young as a professional, and then of course as new mom, you understand, I've got 2 daughters now. So when I was busy with that schedule with them, I didn't realize much that I reflect their nature. But now that I have come into my 40s, in my middle age, now I realize that I reflect so much of my grandmom, and all the stories that I've heard from, yes, and so many stories that I've heard from her, it keeps on coming in my mind, like feel like writing down them all. So at any age, the contribution, it's not exactly a thought about contribution. I'm going to say the mingling and the interconnectivity within the family members, within the sibling, within elderlies, grandparents. It's such a reward. It's a precious thing to get in life. Throughout your life, you'll have that treasure with you.
Indeed. I have also grown with my grandparents, and I believe this is beautiful. Even the storytelling, even the fights that we all used to have with our grandparents because of the generation gap, of course. Everything. I believe learning is a ongoing process. Every day we learn, and we should not stop learning. And
Yes.
Even these small things, you just said na that we should start with a mini garden thing, that indicates art and creativity. We just the way leaf grows from a seed and sapling, we see it every day. Sometimes it grows, sometimes it doesn't. Now how it is growing every day by day, we just nurture it, we just see it,
Yes.
and that is the beauty of it. And art is in everything. Even if we are cooking, even if we are drawing, obviously art is everywhere with us, and that creativity and then learning process, and that is the only thing that family teaches us a lot. During this lockdown specifically, it taught us a lot. There were many fights, there might be many fights in many family and everywhere, but I believe that this lockdown have bonded a lot of people together, even in family, because nobody used to talk, nobody had that time, parents were busy. Even in today, I had this
Yes.
question that even today in online, when everything is online, our parents are still busy in their work, just adjusting in this new nature of online work and everything.
Yes.
So that was my major concern for the children, that everyone is still locked up. We don't know third wave will be coming or not, and let's just
Yes.
hope for the best.
True. The uncertainty actually is pretty like uncertainty makes you feel very insecure. That is the human nature. Okay, possibly that there won't be something very effective and there won't be huge lockdown for a huge phase two. Okay, and you never know what will happen in the third wave. As the second wave came as a huge, it was devastating. It was a huge shocking thing for everyone. So the uncertainty into the mind, not being very sure as to whether even if my college campus opens today, or if the school is open, I'm going to school for 2 days a week, possibly next month itself it closes down, saying everything is going back to. So everyone's psychology has been affected. Everyone's the mental peace has been disturbed to a very huge extent. So over here I think family, uh, uh, there's so much of time spent with the family that these memories will be there cherished throughout life. That's one thing.
Definitely,
And
that is
second,
the beauty.
yes, and for the kids, I also, because you have started asking about the kids because you thought that the elderlies and the they still have a lot of work to do, but many a time for the kids it's getting very boring. I just wanted to add this, that many a times when the parents try to tell something, the kids don't listen or doesn't really pay a heed to what's being said. So if the parents have know the families of some other kids, maybe of the same school, maybe of the neighbor, it could be even within the family, also some relatives, okay? And they're vaccinated, the adults are vaccinated with both the vaccines, then they can meet and the kids can meet also to have some, fun time at times, only the kids, if not the entire family. And also that they could speak over the phone, because if one kid is charged up, if one kid is very actively doing, like in the morning going for cycling, then has a dance hobby class in the afternoon, evening, and loves doing it also, doesn't drag herself out to do it or himself. So the other kid being friend to her will get charged up.
Very true.
So the parents can also identify this sort of children in the family or in the neighborhood who already have been friends, and keep their kids with them, with the peer, there's a peer learning.
Yeah.
So automatically, yeah. So their screen addiction and things will come down to some extent.
Indeed, I agree. Now, at the end, I would just like to thank you for your precious time in this situation of COVID-19. Thank you so much for your blessings and contribution. It was wonderful. I loved it.
Thank you. Thank you so much to invite me on this forum today, and that you deemed that I'm suitable to share my views. In fact, talking on kids is my passion. I absolutely love to do it. Very recently, one of my talk has even reached UNICEF on, and I was absolutely, because all you can do is you can just work hard and you can share your knowledge and hear from other people and listen to other people and, understand what trends are coming in, or what we can do for the future generation, what we can do for ourselves also, right? So extremely thankful to shOObh Group to invite me today. And it was a lovely interaction with you, Sidharthi. I'm sure that to be hooked up with you and be connected with you.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, dear.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Oh